Top Chef, Season 17, Episode 5. This was really a fun episode. I just really enjoyed this episode. The Quickfire was fun. The Elimination Challenge was fun. It looked like there was a ton of food, good food today. And yeah, this is just what I like to see on Top Chef. It helps to show that these chefs can make things that are marketable, not just for high level cuisine for a 5-star restaurant, but make something that you or me could potentially go and buy in a store. And I like that whole concept. I like that whole idea. And then on top of that, we had everybody's family involved today, which I think really brightened up the entire show. There was so many of the contestants who were just delighted to have a family member there, have a loved one there, that just made the show way more enjoyable overall. So let's start with our quickfire challenge. This one was a little silly. We had loved ones sitting in a restaurant talking to the chefs on the phone, describing the dish that they had in front of them, the dish they were eating, so that the chefs could prepare the meal. The results were quite mixed. Overall, I felt like our chefs did a way better job than I expected. Probably about half of the people made dishes that looked pretty damn similar to what their loved ones had been eating. Not everyone got the flavors right. And I also thought this was maybe a little bit unfair because we have some people who their loved one is also a chef, and versus like other people's whose loved ones a lawyer or somebody who has just no clue about food in general. And that was a little weird, but I'm glad that that was just for the quick fire, because especially you saw with Brian V, even though his sister is a chef, a pastry chef, that like he totally whiffed on what his dish looked like. They said it tasted great, but it wasn't the dish that he was supposed to be making. So that was kind of fun. Kevin wins. We've often seen this season. Kevin is just either doing great or doing terrible, and today felt like a day that he did great. So he wins the quickfire, gets immunity, and thankfully this time he didn't screw around with the elimination challenge and just try for something random. He actually went for the win on this, and good for him. So in the elimination challenge, our chefs had to make a like a grocery store sellable sauce or something along those lines, like a little jar or something that you could sell to somebody to spice up their cooking at home. And we really had a large number of our chefs do absolutely fantastic to say today. Outside of the bottom three, I think you could have made an argument for every single other person to potentially be in the top three. I think our bottom three, that it was a good choice. We had Stephanie, Jen, and Brian Malarkey. I really did feel like they were probably the weakest out of everyone today. I honestly felt like Malarkey was going to be headed to Last Chance Kitchen, but in the end, it ends up being Jen. And it's one of those moments where it was a last second decision to add in the yogurt to her sauce. That probably was the difference between her staying and leaving. The other complaint that the judges had was that she had chunks of ginger in her sauce that were just really too large to be appetizing, to be a good idea in the sauce. So Jen heads to Last Chance Chicken. Yeah, Last Chance Kitchen. Last Chance Kitchen. There we go. That seemed a little better. So she will go to, I'll maybe just put some Last Chance Kitchen spoilers at the end. I did not watch today's episode of Last Chance Kitchen. It was not on the website when I went to check, so I wasn't able to cover that, but I will recap last week's at the end of the video. So on to our top. Our top ends up being Gregory, Eric, and Nene. And you very easily could have added in Melissa, who won immunity by selling the most jars of her hot sauce. Leanne did great today. Who else? Like pretty much anybody else. They were all did fantastic, and I think you very easily could have had an entirely three different people in the top three, and I would have been happy with it. In the end, Gregory ends up winning. I was a little bit surprised by that because to me, while what he prepared, which was basically a Haitian condiment, I think they were calling it pickles. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it just felt like more of a garnish to a dish as opposed to something to really set your dish off. I thought Eric was going to take this away. I felt he made something very unique. The judges loved, and yeah, I really thought that he had the edge here. But in the end, Gregory wins, and it was just great to see him and his mom cooking together. It just seemed like he always seems happy, but he seemed absolutely delighted there today, and it was just great to see. Overall, this was one of my favorite episodes of the season. I think the episode where they honor Jonathan Gold was also another one of my favorites. It felt like these two episodes had a little more meaning with the family involved and honoring the great legend Jonathan Gold. So yeah, that's kind of where we sit for Top Chef so far. So last week I missed. Just want to apologize for that. I had some craziness going on in my life, and making a video on watching Top Chef just wasn't really a priority. So decided no video, and we'll just move on to this week. So Last Chance Kitchen. So Lisa went to Last Chance Kitchen. So Joe Sasto is the reigning champ in Last Chance Kitchen, and they had a fry-off. This one was very weird to me because Joe just made fried cheese. Lisa prepared this pork chop dish. She had these potatoes and apples, threw some Brussels sprouts in there, and then you see Joe kind of using the deep fryer, because they were only allowed to use a deep fryer, using it as a stove to just heat things up. And it was like, what? No, this is a fry off. Fry some food. Don't just fry a piece of cheese and put some boiled vegetables underneath. Fry some more food. So that was it. Joe is sent back, and Lisa is now our new reigning champion, and she will go head to head with Jen sometime tonight, I guess. But I will have that for you next week. And as always, thank you for watching, and we will see you later.